Hey, happy Monday, everybody. How we doing today? Don't be mad at Monday. It's a day that comes after Sunday. Okay? Be mad at Tuesday or something. Don't even be mad at Tuesday. Let's go do something. Come on. So I got some 3-liter Ford heads here off of a Ranger and some 351 Windsor Ford heads that I got to get tore down. So I'll put you guys on the hyperlapse and we'll get them tore down. We're going to rebuild both. So I'm just using a great big hammer and a socket on the retainer and hitting it kind of hard, and that upsets the keepers and they just pop out. Doesn't hurt anything. That's just a quick way to get a head apart. These 3-liter heads have freeze plugs in each end, the same as the Windsor head, so I'll be taking out the freeze plugs also. Okay, now I'm on to the Windsor heads. The customer left the rockers on these things for some reason, no idea. So they need to come off for sure. We're going to rebuild them, so let's get them off here. Okay, now on to the freeze plugs here. They're just 1.5 inch plugs. You guys, you really need to change out these plugs. They don't cost very much, and you know, you don't want one to leak. So we change them out. We put brass in. Okay, and in we go. Okay, now we're back to the 3.7 Chrysler heads. I'm going to do a little scraping, a little cleaning on them before I put them in the glass beater. So they'll come out a little bit cleaner. They got quite a bit of gunk in the port, so I'm going to get rid of that. So we'll put you on the hyperlapse again. Hang on, don't get sick, okay? We have a really strong chemical in the wash, but nothing will get rid of the goo and the gunk that gets created in these modern engines, other than we use the Berryman's B12, and just it's like a hands-on scrape, scrape, wipe, scrape. The only thing will get it out is just a little bit of elbow grease. Now I'm going to get after this with the wire wheel to get rid of the hard carbon and the heavy stuff off of it. More hands-on work. Okay, let's get him over and glass beat him now. David, get him over there and glass beat him now.
I find keepers. Always count your keepers. Always count your keepers.
So I'm going to change out this glass. It's getting really hard to see through. I made this. When I got this machine, it had an oval glass and a specialty piece of glass that you had to buy from the manufacturer. There you are calling. Don't call when I'm talking. Oh, David's got it. God help us. Anyways, I built this frame around it so that we could just get some glass at the local hardware store. Cut it for me. Pretty inexpensive. I'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys back in here. Sorry. Hope you can breathe in here. When I put this in here, I didn't realize that it wasn't filming exactly right where I was glass beating, so I just edited all this off. It was quite a bit longer. Hey, happy Tuesday! How are we doing today? Second day in this video. If you'd like to get caught up, down there by your finger somewhere, there's a left arrow button. You can rewind to the beginning of this video and get caught up. Otherwise, I'm almost done with this first head, and so let's keep going. Sometimes I think that cleaning a cylinder head is the most labor-intensive part of actually doing the head. You have to disassemble it, then scrape on it a little bit, run it through the washer, wash it and wash it, take it out, and then again we got to scrape on it and wire buff on it. And then here I am in the glass beater. It's very tedious to just stand here and glass beat all day. I know to you it probably looks pretty cool watching the material come off on the time lapse. But it's pretty damn boring. Your mind starts to wander and you just start thinking about all kinds of stupid stuff. Sometimes I think about crazy recipes like like a peanut butter and pigeon toe jam sandwich. I wonder if be that wouldn't be good, would it? Yuck. Anyways, so getting these heads clean is number one priority to start with. Get it nice and clean. When the customer gets it and they look at it and see what a nice job we did getting it clean, it puts a smile on their face and puts a smile on my face to see that they're happy and satisfied with the product. Enough of me babbling. How about some music? Okay, getting almost done here. Got to stand the head up and get it from a different angle. Every little angle, you got to look at it from both ends, upside down, forward, back around, the other side. Then after I think it's all nice and clean, then we have to go through with the air blower and blow every bolt hole. I blow them both twice while it's in the machine. I also blow out the water jackets and flip it over and blow out the water jackets again. Then it comes out of the glass beater and gets blown out again, and then I put the Berryman's B12 down in the cam cap bolts because we don't want any glass bead in there. That'll hang up and it won't work well. Okay, that's gonna do it. Looks like we're just finishing up here and we're gonna get it out and get it on the bench and get some seats in it. I put these seats in the freezer and that makes them actually shrink by almost half a thousandths, and then they slide in a lot easier. Some more light. Does that help? So I'm going to level it and cut these seats. So hang on, people. Okay, so now I'm leveling it. I'm leveling it forward and back. And there's fine tuner and adjustment on the end here that you can't see. And then I have to level it the other way. And after we level it that way, then I come back and check the other way again and then lock everything down. Okay, now as I'm cutting, I have to spray a lubricant. If I don't spray the lubricant, then it'll gall and just make a horrible hole. Okay, now I got to spray everything off with Berryman's, make sure there's no oil whatsoever on there, and then apply some Loctite. And then after I get all the Loctite in all of the holes, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put the seats in. It requires quite a bit of force to pound them in. They have about 4,000 press fit, so we got to wail on them kind of hard to get them in. And we can hear them when they hit bottom. Put the last one in. So now I'm ready to cut them, but after I hammer those seats in, the head is going to move a little bit. So I have to carefully level it again to make sure that the seats come out concentric. Now I'm coming in here with the 3-angle cutter, and I put it down in the hole and get it towards where it's going to hit, and then I kind of tap the pedal, the air float, just a little bit to kind of self-center it, and then I cut it and I watch for the 3 angles. First the 60 will hit, then the 45, and then the 30. This is going to be the same as the first head. I'm going to get it leveled, and then I'm going to cut the seats, clean it off real well, put some Loctite on it, pound the seats in, and then cut them with the cutter. So how about we just listen to some music, huh? All right, enjoy. Don't put WD-40 on here or some kind of lubricant. It'll just tear and rip and just make the nastiest hole you ever seen. Well, maybe not the nastiest hole you ever seen. I've seen some pretty nasty holes. But, well, let's not talk about that, okay? You guys vote today? Hope you voted. Don't vote. You can't bitch about what happened. Well, you can, but... Okay, I got everything cleaned off and putting Loctite down into the counter bores. The Loctite will act as a lubricant as well as an adhesive. The seats are about 4 thousandths bigger than the bores that I've cut, and the seats are made of a high nickel chrome. The factory used what they call a powdered metal seat, and they're crap. They fall out. Bottom. No, that's not what I meant either. We'll get it leveled up and cut them. Now here I am wiping this with the rag, wiping it real well, and then spraying more of the Berryman's B12. The point being that you cannot leave any of that Loctite behind. The metal chips will just adhere to it, and you won't be able to clean it. You won't be able to wash it when you're ready to assemble it. So you're going to have a bunch of metal chunks in there. So make sure whenever you use Loctite to spray and wipe and spray, don't leave any Loctite behind for metal chips to get stuck to. Here we go again with the 3-angle cutter. So I'm going to come down in there. I float the table. Come down real easy into it. Watch the 3 angles, the 60, the 45, and the 30. Looking for the 3 angles here. There's the 45. And just touch the 30, and I'm going to float it again. Okay, I'm gonna grind the seats on these. You guys saw me do that on the 4.7. It's gonna be the same procedure. So we'll just put you on the hyperlapse. So hang on, people. Here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start off with the 45s on the intake. So I get the stone dressed here. I'm gonna make sure it has a nice fresh finish on it. And we get a nice finish on the seat. And so I'm just gonna go down the row here and just hit all of the 45s. Okay, after I'm satisfied with all the 45s, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to measure them all to make sure they're inside my spec. They have to be past the minimum, and I'll do the final adjustment when I'm doing the assembly. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing for the exhaust. I'm going to hit all the 45s, make sure I have a good clean seat all the way around. You can see after looking at them, I go back and I hit the first couple here that I wasn't happy with. If I'm not happy with them, I'm not going to send them out. So got to be really meticulous on this part of the job, the whole job. And after that's done, then I can measure the installed heights and make sure we're all good to the minimum number. So now that I got everything set, I'm going to spray it off really good with more of that Berryman's. We use that stuff by the case and get it ready to put the graphite on it. Now they got all the 45s set to the right height. The 45 is what the valve is going to seat on. I'm going to spray it with some graphite so I can see what I'm doing for the other angles to narrow up the seat angles. I'm just going to come in with a 30 and a 60 and narrow up those 45s. I keep talking about the three angles, the 30, the 45, and the 60. So the valve has a 45 on it, 44 and a half actually. The valve seat, we put a 45 on. And if we cut just a 45, it's way too wide. So we use the other two angles, the 30 on the top and the 60 down into the throat. And that narrows up that 45 because you don't want the 45 to go off the edge of the valve. You want it to stay like right in the middle. That's where you get the longest life and the best use out of a valve and valve seat. So that's why we have the three angles. I guess we'll just listen to some music now while I grind. Got all the seats done, and so now we're ready to surface them and assemble them. We'll do that tomorrow. That's going to do it for this one. Kind of a really long video, I think. 2 days, huh? So we'll come back tomorrow, we'll get these surfaced up and assembled, and I guess that'll do it. Except for be nice to each other, okay? Might make somebody smile, maybe. I hope. See ya.